Will the Senate please come to order? Will the Senate please come to order? This being the day prescribed by Article 3, Section 14 of the Constitution of the State of Maryland for the meeting of the General Assembly, I now call the Maryland Senate to order. Today's invocation will be given by Reverend Amin Flowers of Life Church Ministries, Baltimore, Maryland, guest of Senator Ferguson. Please rise for the invocation.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. It is a proud privilege to stand before you. And before we begin our invocation this morning, could we have just a moment of silence for our brothers and sisters in the great state of California whose communities are being ravaged with fire? Let us pray. Eternal God, we thank you for the opportunity to arrive and address this opening session with optimism and opposition while both dwell in the same house. This year we pray for wisdom and excellent outcomes for the entire state. We pray for members of this body who crossed the finish line in 2024 with pain, problems, and personal issues that close their eyes to the power of unity and the umbrella of love. Please help us with this session to address the concerns and cares of all members of our state who seem to have lost their way due to fear and a lack of faith. The scripture teaches us to cast our cares upon you, for you care about us. You care about those who live in the margins and to those who live in the mountains. You care about those without adequate living accessories and those who live with anything that you can think of. You care about the least, the left out, and the overlooked. This year, we believe this Senate will innovate, invigorate, and impact this state like never before. We pray and believe that this year Maryland will scream that they are alive in 2025. We ask with humble hearts, open minds, and a spirit of willingness to finish what we start. In the spirit of Harriet, in the spirit of Thurgood, in the spirit of Frederick, we say amen.
Thank you. Without objection, the prayer will be journalized. Will the clerk please call the roll by district?
District 1, Mike McKay. District 2, Paul D. Quarterman. District 3, Karen Lewis Young. District 4, William Folden. District 5, Justin Reedy. District 6, Johnny Ray Saling. District 7, J.B. Jennings. District 8, vacant. District 9, Katie Fry Hester. District 10, Ben Brooks. District 11, Shelley Hedelman. District 12, Clarence K. Lamb. District 13, Guy Gazzone. District 14, Craig J. Zucker. District 15, Brian J. Feldman. District 16, Sarah Love. District 17, Cheryl C. Kagan. District 18, Jeff Waldstreicher. District 19, Benjamin F. Kramer. District 20, William C. Smith, Jr. District 21, Jim Rosapep. District 22, Alonzo T. Washington. District 23, Ron Watson. District 24, Joanne C. Benson. District 25, Nick Charles. District 26, C. Anthony Muse. District 27, Michael A. Jackson. District 28, Arthur Ellis. District 29, Jack Bailey. District 30, Shanika Henson. District 31, Brian W. Simonaire. District 32, Pamela Beidel. District 33, Dawn D. Guile. District 34, Mary Delaney James. District 35, Jason C. Gallion. District 36, Stephen S. Hershey, Jr. District 37, Johnny Moutz. District 38, Mary Beth Carroza. District 39, Nancy J. King. District 40, Antonio Hayes. District 41, vacant. District 42, Chris West. District 43, Mary Washington. District 44, Charles E. Sidnor III. District 45, Corey V. McCrae. District 46, William C. Ferguson IV. District 47, Malcolm Augustine.
43 senators having answered to their names, a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland 2025 is now in session and ready for the transaction of business. The next order of business is the election of a temporary presiding officer. Are there any nominations? The chair recognizes the senator from the 45th District, Senator McCrae.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Colleagues, it is with great pride, it is with great conviction that I rise today. Permission to use the senator's name?
The senator may proceed.
It is great pride, conviction to rise here today to be able to nominate our friend Malcolm Augustine for the position of Senate President Pro Tem. You see, colleagues, when I think about Senator Augustine, he is a leader that exemplifies integrity, collaboration, and unwavering commitment to serving the people of Maryland. You see, Senator, when I think about Senator Malcolm Augustine, the first thing that I think about is family. You see, he exemplifies what a good husband is. I think that there's a couple people in here that would say that he exemplifies what a good dad is. But more importantly, because he does that, he ensures that the Senate of Maryland is just like family. You see, we've watched him as a leader, whether that's energy policy, Senator, whether it's the environment and making sure that climate change actually takes place, behavioral health, higher education, transportation, I could go consumer protection. I could go on and on and on the leadership that he displays right here in this body. But he does that by bringing us together. He does that by making sure that everyone is inclusive and going in that journey going forward. And he's successful because of that. You see, the last time I did this, Senator, the second person said that I didn't leave him nothing to talk about. So, colleagues, I do rise with great pride in nominating not just our friend, not just my brother, but our Senate President Pro Tem, Malcolm Augustine.
Is there a second to the nomination? The chair recognizes the senator from the 12th District, Senator Lamb.
Thank you, and my colleague from Baltimore City again left me speechless without much to talk about, but it's a real pleasure and an honor to nominate our colleague for the position of President Pro Tem. Permission to use the colleague's name.
Senator, you may proceed.
And really pleased to be able to put forward the name of Malcolm Augustine and to second that nomination as well. He is a true leader of this body, someone who really carries the right temperament to be able to serve in this role, someone who's always balanced in their approach, who's even-keeled and even-handed, and also is just a phenomenal, dedicated public servant. I know we've had many conversations in the weekends, late into the evening, to be able to work on really important issues, and he brings that level of dedication to all of the work that he does here in this body. And we know from even just the past, always willing to step up, and sometimes at a moment's notice, into a very difficult role up there. And someone who continues to have the confidence and inspires us all to excel and to be that leader that you are. And so through these many issues that you've worked on and championed, including those that have been mentioned by a colleague, a real advocate for mental and behavioral health needs, someone who's really helped support and uplift transportation issues and making sure that there's adequate public transit as well for folks. Someone who really cares deeply about the environment, be able to address some of the real existential issues that we face there. Someone who will continue to lead this body as our next Speaker Pro Tem. And so it's really an honor and a pleasure to put forward your name and to welcome also your family and life partner, Lauren, and your two children, who are really here to help commemorate and celebrate again this wonderful occasion of you continuing to serve in this wonderful role. So with that, second the nomination of Senator Malcolm Augustine for President Pro Tem.
Are there any further nominations? Chair hearing none, the nominations are closed. The clerk will call the roll.
Madam Secretary?
Have all the senators voted? The clerk will take the call. The Honorable Malcolm Augustine from the 47th District is elected as the President Pro Tem. Will the Majority Whip and Minority Whip kindly escort the President Pro Tem to the rostrum? You raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Malcolm Augustine,
Do swear that I will support
do swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of President Pro Tem
execute the office of President Pro Tem
according to the Constitution and laws of this state,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state,
and that I will not directly or indirectly
and that I will not directly or indirectly
receive the profits
receive the profits
or any part of the profits
or any part of the profits
of any other office during the term
of any other office during the term
of my acting as President Pro Tem.
of my acting as President Pro Tem.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Nicole.
Yep.
Okay, thank you so very much, senators, for your vote. I am absolutely grateful for that. I want to say thank you to Senator McCray for his kind words of nomination, my brother. I just lost for words for how meaningful they are to me, Senator. I'm really, really grateful for you, and I really look forward to continuing to work with you on making sure that we work on jobs and transportation that we've done thus far, and we're going to continue to do that for the benefit of the people of our state. I'm grateful. I also want to say thank you to our Senator Dr. Lamb for his second and his partnership on improving the health outcomes of the people of our state. We've been great partners on that, and I really am thankful for that. I also want to say thank you to our leader, our President Senator Ferguson, for his continued trust and partnership. Your leadership and vision continue to strengthen our state. It's going to be challenging times, but we know you're the right leader for these times. And I'm just honored to work closely with you on matters of the utmost importance to all Marylanders. I also want to thank, of course, the people who sent me here, the people of Legislative District 47. Without them, I wouldn't be here, so I just say thank you to them. And then finally, I say thank you to those who are already mentioned, my family, who are here, without which the sacrifice that they make, I just wouldn't be able to do these things. My wife, Lauren, my daughter, Grace, and my daughter, Brooke. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Colleagues, my commitment to you is that we will continue to work steadfastly to uphold the Senate and make sure that we continue to make accomplishments going forward on these challenging times that we face in front of us. I will support every one of us in our efforts to do the same for our very dear Maryland. So I say thank you so much. The next order of business is the election of I'm sorry, it's not that. The next order of business is the election of a permanent officer. Thank you. We are ready to hear nominations from the floor. Senator Kagan, from the 17th District.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. Permission to use the senator's name.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I rise to nominate President Bill Ferguson for another year leading this chamber. As I thought about what I wanted to say, there were 4 words that seemed most obvious to me. He leads with his intellect, with passion and compassion, with pragmatism, and with empathy. He is innovative. He is a collaborative leader who includes people of both parties and from around the state. He solves complex problems, and in these very challenging fiscal times, he's the right person, as you said, Mr. President Pro Tem, to lead us in these times, and his experience as a fiscal leader will guide us well as we struggle to make sure that Maryland continues to be the very best place to live, work, and raise a family. He is also a loving father, a very devoted dad, a loyal friend, and a trusted colleague. For all of these reasons and many, many more, I'm really proud to nominate our friend, our colleague, and our leader, President Bill Ferguson.
Thank you, Senator. Is there a second to the nomination? Chair recognizes the senator from the 40th District, Senator Hayes.
Mr. President Pro Tem, permission to use the senator's name.
Permission granted.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. Senator Ferguson is someone who I've known for quite a long time. And he's known by many names and many titles, whether it's educator, whether it's lawyer, whether it's advocator, and president, whatever it may be, but I know the one that he holds near and dear, like many of us, his father. He is, like Senator Kagan has already said, very, very brilliant person. I often seek counsel. I think many people in this room, sorry for the heckler that I have over here to my left, but it's an honor to stand here, and with great privilege that I second the nomination of Senator Bill Ferguson to be president of the Maryland Senate.
Thank you, Senator. Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, nominations are closed. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President Pro Tem,
Have all the senators voted? If so, the clerk will take the call. There being 44 votes in the affirmative, the Honorable William C. Ferguson IV is elected as permanent presiding officer. Congratulations. Will the majority leader and the minority leader kindly escort the president to the rostrum? This one. Oh, yeah. All right. Congrats again.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Your hand on that. Okay. I state your name.
I, William T. Ferguson IV,
Do swear that I will support
do swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States,
And that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance.
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland.
to the state of Maryland,
And support the Constitution and laws thereof.
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
And that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of President
execute the office of President,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of this state,
And that I will not directly or indirectly
and that I will not directly or indirectly
receive the profits or any part of the profits
receive the profits or any part of the profits
of any other office during the term of my acting as President.
of any other period of office, serving in term as President.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right.
Off we go.
All set.
All right, here we are again, back again. Well, thank you to the senator from the 47th District, our President Pro Tem. It is truly an honor to be a team member. I can't imagine a better ride or die partner in this work. And thank you very much for your leadership. Thank you to the Senator Kagan and Hayes. Thank you very much for your kind words. Overly generous in all the ways, but thank you. I sincerely appreciate it. And thank you to each and every one of you that voted. I am truly humbled and honored. I do want to start where it matters most, and to our newest members who are joining us for the first time. Welcome to the Maryland Senate. Please. This is an esteemed body, and as you look around the room to these tenured legislators, it is some of the best and the brightest in the country who I am certain will provide amazing models for how each of us can best represent our constituents. So welcome. Thank you for being with us. To the friends and families of those of us who serve, who are here today, a number of have friends and families, please let me say thank you to each and every one of you. This work is not feasible if we don't have your support. And to your individual, to the moms who are here, yes, exactly. We wanted to make sure you were here today, too. Also on your birthday. Yeah, exactly. Truly, to family members, this work is difficult and challenging, and it's your support that makes it all possible. So thank each and every one of you for being here. It is sort of remarkable. This is the sixth time that the sixth year that I will be here in this role. And some of you heard this at caucus, but there's a bit of an addendum. When I was talking about it with my daughter, who's 10 years old, about this process of being in the role of Senate President, and she wanted to understand, was it an election? You go to a ballot box? And I said, no, it's a nomination. And I was explaining how it goes with the caucus, and then we come to the floor. And so, and she said, well, is there somebody else running? And my wife, who was in the kitchen, who I didn't think was listening, sort of said, there's nobody else running. No one wants that job. It's going to suck this year. So, so that's part one. Part two is when I was taking Cora to the bus today, I thought she had totally forgotten all about it. And so I dropped her off and said, have a great day. She's back from the 2 snow days. And she says, hey, have a great first day. Don't forget, it sucks to suck. So I was like, all right, well, here we go. Welcome to 2025. This is it. But in all seriousness, this is truly an honor of a lifetime, and it is such a privilege to be in this institution, in this body, at this really important moment for the state of Maryland. We know this is going to be a challenging session. It's going to be very different than many of the sessions that we've had in our recent past. Despite going through a pandemic, this will be a new challenge ahead. And I keep thinking and get reminded back to a year ago at this point, where at that time when I stood up here, I said it was the first time in many years that we were back to normalcy, that we had come back to a sense of the world being operating in a post-pandemic normal way. Of course, all of that was shattered on March 26th with the dollies crashing into the Key Bridge. And it's in that moment where normalcy was shattered that this institution showed exactly who it is. Within days, we had put together legislation working with our House counterparts, with the governor, setting up the Port Act in a bipartisan way to find ways to put resources immediately to use, to set the state up for success in the midst of crisis. And lo and behold, thank you to a number of our congressional folks who are joined with us today and those who are joining, that Port Act, that act of bipartisan activity at the end of the 2024 session, ushered the end of the calendar year into the full funding and the near start of reconstruction of a bridge that folks thought would be years and years away. That is what progress looks like. That is what's possible when we come together to find ways to solve problems together. And so this is going to be a challenging year. We see all our friends are joining us now. The House must have just gotten out. We are so thrilled to have each and every one of you. And I see also our Congressman Hoyer, thank you for joining us as well. We're just talking about the full funding of the bridge, which is truly a remarkable result of what's possible. As Congressman Harris is here as well, who is a strong supporter of making sure that that reconstruction could happen, and we're sincerely thankful. All of that wasn't possible but for the actions of this body with our House counterparts and the governor to set up with the Port Act to be in a place to be successful. It's challenging in the midst of crisis, but when we row together, we find a way through. Last sort of point before we jump into the work of the business today. And I've really been thinking, we know we have this $3 billion challenge. It is going to be that $3 billion budget gap that really sets out the undertone of what this session will have to struggle through. And I've been thinking about it a little bit differently recently in that, yes, it is a challenge, but really, it's an opportunity for us in this body, for us, our colleagues at state and local government, at the federal government, to come together and really define what do we want our future to look like. How do we take this challenge and have the hard conversations about what do we prioritize to invest in people and to build communities in a way that everyone has the opportunity to thrive? If there's one symbol that I think hopefully represents it all, it's actually across the street. Tomorrow, we will be cutting the ribbon on the new Department of Legislative Services building. Many folks don't know that when we had to shut this building down, it was on an emergency measure. The Speaker and I, in the middle of summer, had to have a call because a building that was once the beacon of progress had fallen into complete and utter disrepair. There was mold, there was concerns about health that didn't fit the modern standards. It just didn't work. And so we had to emergency shut everything down, move folks into a different place, and begin a whole new reconstruction process. When we cut the ribbon tomorrow, I am so proud to say it is one of the most beautiful and purpose-built buildings that I think I've almost ever seen. If you have a chance to take a look, it represents exactly how public servants and how those who are working on behalf of Marylanders should feel when they go to work every single day. It's a building that came in under budget, ahead of schedule, thanks to folks like DJ LaSalle from the Department of Legislative Services, who was an incredible manager for this entire project. Thank you very much, DJ, and the entire DLS team for your work on this building. But as you walk through the building, just remember, from a space that was a crisis, that had to be shut down in an emergency, what emerged was everything that the state of Maryland should look like. We come together to do work on behalf of people, and we build the symbols of buildings and institutions that promote a better future. That's what the 2025 session is going to be about. It's about doing the hard work with hard conversations of reprioritizing our state objectives to change the world. So thank you all. It is such an absolute honor to serve you with my team. We're going to have a great year this 2025. Thank you. We are joined by a number of special guests, so we thank you all. We know that post-snow, it's been very busy. You could have been anywhere. You chose to be here today. Thank you all very much. I do want to introduce, first and foremost, we have Comptroller Brooke Learman. Welcome. We have Attorney General Anthony Brown. We have now Congressman Johnny Olszewski. We are joined by our former member, Congressman Andy Harris. My mayor, our mayor, Baltimore City Mayor Brandon Scott. Another one of our esteemed members, always in the family, County Executive Bob Casserly. Wacomico County Executive Julie Giordano. Welcome. I got it right this time. Baltimore City State's Attorney Ivan Bates. I didn't see Ivan Bates. Oh, he's outside, okay. We have Annapolis Mayor Gavin Buckley. Do we have, oh, there's the mayor. Laurel Mayor Keith Sidnor. Welcome. We have Prince George's County Councilwoman Ingrid Watson. Of course, welcome. We have our another former member, always in the family, former Attorney General Brian Frosch. We have former Senator Jim Mathias. Did I see Jim? Oh, there's Jim in the balcony. Welcome, Jim. Trekked over from the bridge. We have our was in the family just one day ago, but she said, you know what, I got bigger and better things to do in Baltimore County. County Executive, that's funny to say, County Executive Kathy Klausmeyer. We're also joined by Howard County Executive Calvin Ball. Welcome. Frederick County Executive Jessica Fitzwater. Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich. Anne Arundel County Executive Stuart Pittman. Our former member, not a day ago, but 2 months ago, Congresswoman Sarah Elfreth. And of course, our former president of the Senate, the highest and best title he has ever had, other than Majority Leader of the United States Congress, but Steny Hoyer. Oh. We are also, I see, joined by our esteemed governor and lieutenant governor and the Secretary of State, also one of our former members, Susan Lee. Governor, do you want to please come on up? Lieutenant Governor, Madam Lieutenant Governor, welcome, welcome. Long time, no see. Long time.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. President. Thank you so much, and thank you for the leadership. Thank you for having us here. We're going to be very brief. We just wanted to say hello and just say how happy we are to be with each and every one of you, all of our returning champions, and all the folks who are just committed to making sure that all of our constituents are seen, heard, and supported. To all of our guests, thank you for supporting your family members or friends who are down here in the chambers, and for being an active part of this larger democracy. This is going to be an exciting 90 days. This is going to be a time when we are going to get a lot of work done together. We're going to battle ideas, and at the end of the day, come sign and die, we're going to have a product that the people of the state are going to be really proud of, because they're going to understand not just how much work went into it, but understand that they've got the right ones who are representing them here in Annapolis. And so it is a joy to be with each and every one of you. I hope the weather warms up just a little bit for what we're going to see for the next couple of days. But we are very excited about what this next day is, what these next 90 days is going to bring, and what that's going to mean for the next generation. And I am delighted to have the honor of having Aruna Miller as my partner inside this work every single day. And so I am overjoyed to turn the microphone over to our amazing Lieutenant Governor, Aruna Miller.
Thank you so much, Governor. I just want to say how excited Governor Moore and I are to work together with all of you again to deliver for the people of Maryland, because we know we can do it. We've done it before, and we're going to do it again. So we look forward to working together with each and every single one of you. Thank you.
God bless you.
All right. Well, we have our Frederick City Mayor, Tara Jackson. Oh, no, sorry. Prince George's County, of course. We have, because we are Prince George's County Executive, Tara Jackson. Yes, I'm so sorry to... Do we have our Frederick City Mayor? Do we have Michael? Oh, there. Yes, of course, Michael. Welcome, Frederick City Mayor. Thank you very much. Yes, I think I've gotten everyone. If I haven't, charge it to my head and not my heart, please. The Senate always welcomes you. We cannot do this work without each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You all are more than welcome to join us through the administrative parts of opening up the session. But if you have other things to do, please feel free. Now would be the appropriate time to move elsewhere in the case that you would like to transition. But we are going to be very close contact this year. Thank you all very, very much. Also, to any friends and family members that have, we will be out very shortly. We only have a little bit of work to do. Make sure everybody can get paid, and that our hiring is good. All right, I think we are good to move along. Madam Secretary, do we feel ready to go? All right, the first order of business is the naming of the desk officers. The clerk will read the order.
By the Majority Leader, resolved that the following desk officers be and are hereby elected to serve during the legislative session of 2025. Secretary of the Senate, Nicole M. Alexander. Assistant Secretary, Veronica Blair. Assistant Secretary, Caitlin E. Sanders. Journal Clerk, Sean M. Noel. Reading Clerk, Andrea C. Jones. Proceedings Clerk, Nicholas D. Garrett. Chief Page, Rochelle Thompson.
All right. The clerk will call the roll on the order of the desk officers.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. With a unanimous vote, the Senate of Maryland has unanimously approved the desk officers for the 2025 session. The next order of business is the adoption of the rules. The clerk will read the order.
by the Majority Leader, ordered by the Senate of Maryland that for the legislative session of 2025, the Senate adopts the rules as in effect at the end of the legislative session of 2024, with the exception of Rule 116 by order Nicole M. Alexander, Secretary of the Senate.
All right, Senators, the question before the body is adoption of the rules, but not 116, which is the rule that requires the majority vote for a change of the rules. We do know that the Rules Committee has one additional rule that we'll take up tomorrow, but this would be for the bulk of the rules minus 116. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 44 votes, the Senate has adopted our rules absent Rule 116. The clerk will read the next order. Apologies. Recognizing the chair of the Rules Committee.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I move to special order Rule 116 until January 16th, 2025.
All right, the Rules Committee chair has moved to special order Rule 116 until January 16th. Any objection to the motion? Without objection, the motion carries. The clerk will read the next order. This is the important one.
by the Majority Leader, ordered that the monies appropriated for the expense of this legislative session of 2025 as set forth as in the appropriation bill be paid upon the joint order of the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Delegates. By order, Nicole M. Alexander, Secretary of the Senate.
Question before the body is on the order for the monies of the year. Are there any objection to adoption of the order? Without objection, the order is adopted. The clerk will read the next order.
By the Majority Leader, ordered that the President shall appoint the employees necessary for the proper transaction of business of this legislative session of 2025, as provided for in the budget, this order to remain in effect until changed or modified by the Senate. By order, Nicole M. Alexander, Secretary of the Senate.
Are there any objections? Without objection, the order is adopted. The next order of business is an announcement. Clerk will read the announcement.
The leadership announcements are on the senators' desks.
Senators, the announcement is available on your desks, printed. Are there we will journalize the announcement. The clerk will read the next announcement.
The committee announcements are on the senators' desks.
All right, this, Senators, is the committee announcements for the standing committees and select joint committees. The announcement is ordered journalized. The next order of business is an announcement from the minority party. Clerk will read the announcement.
The Senate Minority Caucus met on November 14th, 2024 for the purpose of electing the minority floor leaders for the 2025 legislative session. The following members have been selected. From Minority Leader, Senator Stephen S. Hershey Jr., District 36. From Minority Whip, Senator Justin Reedy, District 4.
The announcement is ordered journalized, and the chair recognizes the minority leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. This should be the last speech of our day, but I wanted to welcome everyone and say good afternoon, colleagues, and welcome back to Annapolis for the 2025 legislative session. As we reconvene to chart the course of Maryland's future, I want to first extend my gratitude to each of you, Democrats and Republicans alike, for your dedication to the people of our state. Public service is no small calling, and I am confident that together we can rise to meet the challenges that lie ahead. This year, we face a critical test of leadership. Our state is grappling with a significant budget deficit, one that demands serious attention and a disciplined approach to spending. Families across Maryland live within their means every day, and they expect the government to do the same. We cannot afford to let fiscal irresponsibility threaten the stability of our economy or the well-being of our constituents. Let me be clear, raising taxes on hardworking Marylanders is not the solution. Our residents are already feeling the pinch from rising costs in their daily lives. It is our responsibility to ensure that government lives within its means, just as our citizens must. We must focus on smarter spending, eliminating waste, and prioritizing programs that deliver results. While the Republican caucus remains steadfast in opposing policies that burden taxpayers, we are equally committed to working across the aisle. Bipartisanship is not just a buzzword, but the foundation of good governance. Republicans stand ready to collaborate with our Democrat colleagues to find common ground and to implement solutions that benefit all Marylanders. At the same time, we have a duty to seek transparency and accountability for the decisions that brought us here. Ill-fated policies and mismanagement have contributed to this deficit, and we owe it to our constituents to examine what went wrong and ensure it doesn't happen again. Accountability is not about assigning blame. It's about learning from the past to build a stronger, more responsible future. As we begin this session, let us keep Maryland priorities at the forefront: safe communities, quality education, affordable living, and economic opportunity. Together, we can create a brighter future by being disciplined, transparent, and willing to lead with principle. Let us debate vigorously, compromise when necessary, and never lose sight of why we're here: to serve the people of Maryland. We look forward to the work ahead and thank each of you for the partnership in the months to come. Thank you, and let's get to work.
Thank you, Mr. Minority Leader. It's a spirited debate this year. It's going to be excellent. It's important. This is an important time. All right. We've journalized the order. Next order of business is a message from the House. Clerk will read the message.
By the Majority Leader, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, the House of Delegates has organized by election of the Honorable Adrian A. Jones, Speaker of the House. We respectfully propose, with your concurrence, the appointment of a joint committee of 4 members, 2 on the part of the House and 2 on the part of the Senate, to wait upon the governor, inform him that the General Assembly is now organized and prepared to receive any communication he may desire to make. We have appointed on the part of the House of Delegates, Delegates Moon and Buckle, by order, Sylvia Siegert, Chief Clerk.
All right, message having been read is ordered journalized. We now have a message to the House of Delegates. Clerk will read the message.
By the Majority Leader, ladies and gentlemen of the House of Delegates, we have received your message notifying the Senate of the organization of your honorable body and requesting the appointment of a joint committee to wait upon the governor to inform him that the General Assembly is now prepared to receive any communications which he may desire to make. We have appointed on the part of the Senate, Senators King and Hershey. The Senate has organized by the election of the Honorable William C. Ferguson IV as President. By order, Nicole M. Alexander, Secretary of the Senate.
Message having been read is ordered adopted. We now have a message to the executive. Clerk will read the message.
By the Majority Leader, His Excellency, the Governor of Maryland, Wes Moore. The Senate of Maryland is organized and prepared to receive any communication you may desire to make. The President of the Senate is the Honorable William C. Ferguson IV. By order, Nicole M. Alexander, Secretary of the Senate.
Message having been read is adopted. Next order of business is a message from the executive. Message from the executive. Clerk will read the message.
Dear President Ferguson, in accordance with Article 2, Section 11 of the Constitution of Maryland, I am pleased to submit for the confirmation of the Maryland State Senate appointments made during the 2024 recess at the General Assembly. These appointments possess a commitment to advancing equity across our state and will serve the best interest of all of our citizens. I am confident you will find them deserving of your support for appointment confirmation. Sincerely, Wes Moore, Governor.
Message having been read is ordered journalized, and the names, the recess appointments will be referred to the Committee on Executive Nominations. We have about 430 recess appointments. So Executive Nominations Committee, get ready. It's going to be a busy year. All right, our next order of business, we're almost there. Two more calendar items. The first is a consent calendar. Clerk will read the calendar.
Consent calendar of vetoed Senate Bills Number 1, 2024, vetoed Senate bills duplicative. Shall the bills pass notwithstanding the objection of the Chief Executive?
All right, Senators, the question before the body is, shall the bills pass notwithstanding the objections, whether we would override the veto? These are duplicative bills, not policy. These are duplicative. So a green vote would be to override the veto. A red vote, a red vote, is to uphold the duplicative bill veto. So any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President?
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Are we sure? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. With 44 votes to the negative, the veto is sustained. We have one additional order of business. This is veto calendar number 2. Clerk will read the calendar.
Calendar of vetoed Senate Bills Number 2, Policy, Senate Bill 60, Senator Carrozza, Motorhome and Recreational Trailer Shows of State Dealer. Shall the bill pass notwithstanding the objection of the Chief Executive?
All right, question is, shall the bill pass notwithstanding the objections of the Chief Executive? Chair recognizes the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would move that we postpone the second veto calendar indefinitely.
All right, the Majority Leader moves that we postpone indefinitely the second veto calendar. Any discussion on the Majority Leader's motion? Any objections to the Majority Leader's motion? Without objection, the motion carries. All right, the desk is now clear for day one, down to 89. Before we adjourn, a couple of things. We're going to ask our committee chairs for announcements, and we will introduce the pages and any other announcements or discussion that we have. So let's be. Oh, we do have one more. It is coming momentarily. It is such a large stack already of introduction of bills that we have it available. Okay, and we have it in the back. Okay, so we do have one last order of business, and that is the introduction of bills. The clerk will read the bills.
Introductory Senate Bill Number 1, Senate Bill 1, Senator Waldstreicher, Legally Protected Health Care, Reproductive Fertility, Preservation, and Contraceptive Treatments and Services.
Majority Leader moves so be considered the reading of the bills. We have a number of them. Cover calendars. Clerk, read the next calendar.
Calendar number 2 is Senate Bill 101, Senator Carrozza, Wacomico County Vehicle Laws, Prohibition on Roadway Solicitation.
Majority Leader moves so be considered the reading of the bills. Clerk will read the next calendar.
Calendar number 3, Senate Bill 187, Chair, Judicial Proceedings Committee, Drunk Driving, Commercial Driver's License.
Majority Leader moves so be considered the reading of the bills. Clerk will read the next calendar.
Calendar number 4, Joint Resolution number 1, Senator McCray, ratifying the Federal Child Labor Amendment, Finance.
All right, so we are up to I'm just curious how many bills we're already at. Starting with 249 on day one. Woo! 249 on day one. A lot of work ahead. All right, so now the desk is officially clear. So let's hear from the Chair of Finance.
No meeting today, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair of Education, Energy, and the Environment.
No meeting today, Mr. President.
Thank you. Chair of Budget and Tax.
So I'm going to announce the week.
Please.
Because this is the last you'll hear it, committee. No meetings at all this week.
Ooh. Oh. Just going out to buy calculators. That's a, yeah. Oh, yes. Chair of Judicial Proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing on the docket today.
Excellent. All right, very good. Any other discussion or words from members? If not, let's check with the Protocol Committee. Yes, Senator from the Middle Eastern Shore.
Thank you, Mr. President. And on behalf of the Protocol Committee, it's an honor to introduce our pages to the body this afternoon. The first page is Eva Barrett from Anne Arundel County District 36. Eva, please stand up. Sophia Fraga, St. Mary's County, Chopticon High School. Sorry, I've got to get my rhythm back on how I do this. I had it backwards. Well, the next page is Charles County, North Point High School, Layla Harrison. We have from Calvert County, Patuxent High School, Jordan Hayes. Montgomery County, Rockville High School, Sophie Nguyen. Baltimore County, Loyola Blakefield High School, Matthew Payne. Howard County, Mount Hebron High School, Joseph Phelps. Montgomery County, Montgomery Blair High School, Samantha Ross. And that are our pages. We have one other follow-up announcement.
Senator, may proceed.
Yeah, on January 1st, we started a new year, but we also celebrated a birthday for one of our colleagues. So I'd like the body to join me and a birthday round of applause for Senator, permission to use the Senator.
Senator, may proceed.
Senator Dawn Guile. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I think she spent it on a snow day with the kids, all right? That just stuck watching, navigating all the fun. Happy birthday. I also have heard that I think one of my community leaders, Betty Bland Thomas, is with us. Maybe in the gallery behind me. Betty Bland Thomas. Is Betty Bland Thomas behind us? No? Okay. Well, welcome to Abstentia. Right now. All right. Any other further remarks? Any other business for the body? If not, let's do a quorum call before we adjourn.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, the clerk will take the call. With 44 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland remains in session. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate of Maryland stand adjourned until Thursday, January 9th at 10 a.m.
Without objection, so ordered. Be safe and be good.
Oh my goodness.